Okay, so I wanted to do something today. If you notice my hands are a little painty, it's because I've been painting a bedroom. I have been spending the weekend creating for myself a place that is mine, that reflects me, and I'm lucky enough that I have the ability to do that. And I've been thinking a lot while I've been doing it about what I wanted to explore this week. And I thought it would be kind of fun to have a way that we could all create a space like that for ourselves, at least in a in the sense of this video / reading. So what I thought was I have grabbed 3 different stones that I have, and I'm going to make 3 different piles. And what I'm going to do is have you each choose the pile that you like, that you're most attracted to. And what I'll do is, after I've laid the cards out, I will put a timestamp on the video where, depending on which pile you choose, you can go to that timestamp and get that reading. And then you can come back and see the other ones if you like, or you can watch it all the way through and wait for yours, and see if got a jumper. It's actually a couple jumpers. I'm gonna set those aside and we'll do the jumpers at the end, because right now I'm just mixing and explaining. So I know what each of the stones represent. Maybe if the quality of the lighting is good enough, you can tell from the video and you know what they are, and you'll know what they represent. But I'm going to ask the cards for, I'm going to do a 2-card reading for each of the stones, and then we'll do those 2 cards that jumped out together at the end. That may just be a message for me, I don't know, or maybe for somebody who's watching. So let's get to it. So I'm gonna ask the cards about one for the first stone. And then I'm going to ask for one on the next stone. Last stone here. Okay. So I'm going to set these aside, and I'm going to just show you the stones in the light. So this is the first one, and he's going to go there, and then this is the second one, and she's going to go there, and this is the last one, and it's going to go right here. Okay, so choose your fighter is kind of the theme. So if you like this pile, there's going to be a timestamp here, go to that one. If you like this pile, timestamp here, go to that one. And if you are more drawn to this last pile, timestamp here, and you're going to go to that one. Let's do it. So this is Kambaba Jasper, and this is a healing stone for peace and tranquility. It is kind of the keywords that always jump out. I am still a baby at learning stones, so that's this one. And cards for here. Boundaries and versatility reversed. So I'm going to read them real quick because I'm still learning this deck as well. This is a whole new experience for me. A lot of the cards are pretty self-explanatory in their imagery, but there's some other stuff that comes along. So this little armadillo here, all curled up, and versatility is the canvas leaf. So, boundaries. Boundaries is an earth card. And we're going to go to that page. Boundaries can be a difficult thing to master. Most people are not raised with a firm understanding of healthy boundaries and either end up being closed off or allow themselves to be invaded, or they become invading of others. It requires balance and knowing exactly what your needs are. This card asks you to check in with yourself and see where you live on the boundary spectrum. Do you have a healthy relationship with them? Do you struggle in communicating around them? Are there any patterns that continue to crop up around boundaries in your life? And then they've done with this deck, I really like the way they've done this oracle, is they give you an animal, a plant, and a stone. So for the animal is the armadillo, and it's known for its hard armor on its backside. Its potent medicine is for teaching us how to set container for our desired or not desired experiences. I'm not going to read the whole thing, I'm just going to kind of read what stands out to me. So if you're looking for a balance in setting your boundaries and being vulnerable and protecting yourself, they recommend calling upon the armadillo for some guidance. And the plant for this one is yarrow. It's named after the Greek hero Achilles, and the myth is that Achilles was made invulnerable because yarrow was floating in the river and his mother dipped him in as a child. It can teach us healthy boundaries, but is especially helpful in an ally for those that are sensitive to other people's energies. And black tourmaline is the stone. It's a protector, grounder, and cleanser all in one. It's known to transform dense energy into a lighter vibration around spiritual energy and can be used to form a protective shield around the body. So protective shield mimicking that what the armadillo has around its body as well. So creating your own armor, whether that is physical armor, emotional armor, or spiritual armor, creating an armor around yourself to protect you from things that are taking away your peace and the calmness around you. And then versatility reversed here, and I'm kind of getting the sense that this card maybe shouldn't be reversed today, but let's see. Versatility is a error card. Pulling this card may indicate a time when you are coming against a lot of resistance, whether internally or externally. So this kind of gives me the indication that this card maybe, like I was thinking originally, should be upright. And that sometimes I think I just get the sense that the card doesn't have a reverse reading today, and that it's just meant for us to look at the imagery in the upright sense. And that no matter the direction we pulled the card, it's meant to be read upright. So a lot of times we focus on one thing intensely and push hard despite being shown the timing is off. And so that can go along with setting boundaries. The animal for this card is the rat, and has proven that with versatility you have staying power. Rats can be found everywhere in the world. And when introduced to a new environment, they adapt and reproduce quickly and are incredibly hard to eradicate. Rats are amazing at thriving in urban, suburban, and rural environments, which is like peak versatility. Foxes are similar in that urban foxes are amazing, and gulls are amazing versatile animals as well. So the plant for this is cannabis. It teaches how to find multiple uses and benefits within a single thing. And our experiences form how we view our present reality, and sometimes that means we get into a rut or routine, not realizing all the opportunities that are available. So cannabis is a medicine, a recreational drug. Different parts of the plant are great for different things. CBD treats entirely different things than THC. And so it's just looking past, like I'm getting the sense with both the rat and cannabis of looking past the stigma that are around things. And fluorite is the stone for this one. Most people are struck by the shape that fluorite takes. It's commonly found in the shape of an octagon, and it can be found in cascading cubic formations as well. It creates an almost transformer-like effect. It is a powerful air element stone, inviting us to shapeshift and create structure to quick changing thoughts and mental energies. Fluorite aids in harmonizing air and earth energies, grounding any mental chaos. Call on fluorite as an ally during times of quick transformation and fluidity in which you need to remain stable. So versatility is kind of stability in different settings. Not necessarily all, but versatility means that you can thrive and survive in different environments. And you can't do that unless you set boundaries. So look at your versatility. Look at things where you can take this behavior and adapt it to this situation to create yourself a healthy boundary. And that's what I'm getting from this one. So this stone is blue calcite. I was drawn to this one in the summer. Actually, not even the summer. It was last year. Gosh, this year's been crazy. It was around February of last year that I picked this stone up. And calcite, it just feels really cool. It's like kind of soapy and slick, and I really like it. It's really pretty blue. It's got some reds in it. Calcite is it banishes anxiety and depression. So if you're feeling a little moody, a little spirally, a little just not quite right this week emotionally, then maybe this is the one for you. So we got nature and ask body for this one. So again, I'm going to flip to those because, like I said, I'm really new with this deck. I happen to open right up to ask body, but we're not quite there yet. But maybe we need to read this one first. So axe body is an earth element. And it looks like a leopard, little third eye there. In spiritual work, the body is often overlooked. There's a tendency to go higher rather than go deeper. This card encourages you to enter into a dialogue with your body. Our physical body holds all of our experiences, our heart, mind, and spirit. It's also inherited significant experiences and traumas that have been passed on to our lineage. To dialogue with the body is to get to the root of the matter where our minds can only guess. Yeah. So that makes sense if you're kind of feeling anxious and depressed something this last week. Maybe instead of looking inward, maybe look outward. What are your surroundings like? Is there any physical things going on around you? Okay, so it's a jaguar is the animal. It's an ally with working with the unknown and reclaiming our power. It's a solitary animal, so they're the perfect for doing body work. When diving into our physical self, there's a sense of being alone, as no other person lives in your body and no one else has lived experiences that are held within. When things arise in our lives, we can find healers, teachers, gurus, and friends who can all hold space for us, but to go inside our body is not only more powerful, it is more intimate. For it is your wisdom and yours alone. So kind of rely on yourself. And especially when you're starting to, for me, when I'm starting to spiral, that's tend to what I call it when I start to go down that path. The only person who can pull me out of it is me. Nobody else can. And just kind of relying on knowing to look to my own body for cues of when I'm starting down that path. So the plant for this is the ash tree, which can support us in connecting to all the cells and experiences held in our bodies. The ash is known for how deeply its roots go into the earth, which makes it an amazing ally in reaching into our own bodies. Call upon ash as an ally to explore the past, present, and future within your body. And hematite is the stone. Hematite is a very grounding and protective stone. It's especially useful for body work on the way that it brings the spiritual and intuitive energies into the body so they can physically manifest. So many spiritual-minded people struggle with the integration and staying connected with their body. Hematite pulls you back into yourself. So when you start healing and moving forward, don't forget to just kind of take stock of yourself. That's kind of what I'm getting is take stock of where you're at. And there's lots of different ways you can do that. I find journaling to be really helpful with that. They give you an exercise of sit or lie comfortably, bring your attention to your breath, let your body relax, and then imagine dropping into your body. If there's a specific place you want to go, a place that holds tension or disease, go there, otherwise drop into your core. Ask your body any questions that come to mind. If there's anything you need guidance or are unsure of, bring that to mind. See what it says. Deepening the relationship with one's body will always be beneficial. It will always provide a safe space where you can retreat to when you need assistance. I just keep looking at the eyes repeated in these two cards. They kind of are making a spear going straight forward, and I keep getting distracted by it. And I find it really is really standing out to me. And that's just kind of continuing to look and observe type symbolism to me. So then the other one was nature. We'll go to it. Nature has a profound effect on our well-being. It increases creativity, relieves depression and anxiety, and improves memory and focus, and rewires our stress response hormones. And that is something that you can definitely experience yourself. And you don't have to go and have all these like green spaces all around you. Even if you're in an urban environment, like I was for a long time, like you can find nature everywhere. There's birds everywhere. There's bugs everywhere. Having a little house plant inside, that's nature. And you can bring it with you. You don't have to go out to the top of a mountain or the middle of an empty forest to experience nature. You can experience it in small patches and it can be just as restorative. The animal is blackbird, and it calls our attention to the great mystery within the natural world. Blackbird encourages us to dive into the mysteries and teachings of the natural world around us, spend time being curious with and about the natural world, ask it questions, sit with it, and honor it. And you can do that in your mind, too. You don't have to go somewhere if you can't go somewhere, which right now, it's kind of hard for a lot of people to go somewhere. Hemlock is the plant. It's one of the few trees that grows out of nurse logs. A nurse log is a decaying trunk or fallen tree that provides a home for a new tree to grow. In this way, hemlock teaches us how to find our specific needs. Nature provides nutrients for us, but what specifically about it? Sitting near water will bring out completely different things than sitting at the base of a tree. And the stone is rainforest jasper that reminds us that we're interconnected with all things. So to me, this is like a look within yourself, but remember that within yourself, you are connected to everything around you. And there's using that connection and remembering that even if you feel really lonely, you feel really solitary, that you're still connected to people and things, and there are still ways to do that, and just looking to that for some healing. Open your eyes. All four of them. Open your eyes to what's around you. And don't lose sight of the bigger picture of things. So the last one here is this little cute obsidian chip that I got from as a bonus stone when I ordered some other stuff. Really cool. I really like it. And anyway, so obsidian is for protecting against negative energies. And let's go ahead and see what it say. So we've got withdraw and transmute. I love this card, withdraw. It's just a cute little pulled up box, and it just kind of reminds me to just, every time I see it, I'm just like, take a nap. Like, when things aren't going quite right, just take a nap. Just go be with yourself and let yourself figure things out. So we'll start with withdraw, and this is an earth card. This card is reflective of the winter season and the times of stillness, death, and collecting our resources. It calls for a retreat of sorts. While culture values productivity, doing, acting, and pushing forward, Spirit is asking you to take a break and relax. Go within yourself, find stillness, gather strength for what is to come. We often find solutions we need when we step away from what we're doing and allow ourselves to unfold. So yeah, if you're like overwhelmed and just need a break, just go take a nap, man. And that's just kind of my response. And half the time when I'm like, I need to go take a nap, I don't actually take a nap, I just kind of lay in the silence and stare at the ceiling, or I read a book, but I'm laying in bed in a place that is only mine and is completely safe to me, and it's just kind of, I always feel when I'm like laying in bed in the middle of the day, it's kind of like stepping out of reality and into like a little sub-reality I've created for myself. So the animal for this one is the fox. Fox teaches how to find balance between being social and solitary. While foxes spend some time within a pack, for the most part they are solitary creatures that hunt alone and will retreat each day to their den or hollow. Be comfortable being alone, no matter where you are or what you're doing, and call upon the fox if you struggle with feeling at ease in your own company. This is something that honestly, like that, feeling at ease by myself has taken me years and years and years. I am in my mid-30s and I'm just starting to be comfortable, like being by myself and not being overwhelmed by my own brain. And it's a very hard thing to learn. And I think learning it is really important. The plant is yew. The yew has many incredible techniques that is used to guarantee its longevity. Among them is a process where the branches grow internal roots so that even though the trunk may die, a new tree is already growing. Call upon you as an ally if you need support and create a container for personal hibernation. And I'm probably going to say this wrong. Pimonite, I don't know, is the stone. Oftentimes people use the word withdraw and hibernate are used. People envision solitude and inactivity, and possibly a cabin in the woods. For most of us, this is not possible. We still live our lives, maintain our relationships, and tend to what needs to get done. In doing this, Pimonite is an excellent ally for bringing joy to the mundane and enlivening our senses while we still remain in the underworld doing our internal work. So I'm one of those people that I'm not super social. I tend to get a little drained, but I do crave like social gatherings and things like that, which is really hard right now. But after being really social, I get what I call a social hangover, where I just feel so drained and so empty. And taking that time to myself is really, really important in order to be protected from all the other things that are going around me. I use the spoon analogy a lot, which is a super great one. And it's like it just kind of takes me time to regain those spoons. And hibernation is a perfect way to think about that. So whatever you need to do to withdraw. Like I like to play video games or read a book, and those things can be restorative if you're the type of person that finds them as a way to just kind of zone out, block out the world around you. So transmute is the last card. And let's pull that one up. I haven't seen this one yet. I haven't seen a lot of these yet, to be fair. So transmute is an arrow card. Cute little bumblebee. Oh no, it's a scarab. This looks like a bumblebee in this lighting. Hopefully the lighting looks better on the camera. My angle looked like a bumblebee, but now I see its little scaraby body. Okay. Within you lies the ability to take dense energy and turn it into a lighter, higher vibration. You can do this in response to constricting situations, difficult relationships, or blockages with your internal landscape. Sometimes we don't need to consciously work at the issue, but simply have the intention of doing so. This card is an invitation to identify that which needs to shift and create a sacred container for what you want to transmute. The scarab is the animal. Like all beetles, the scarab goes through metamorphosis, which is associated with rebirth. Honestly, if you want to be weirded out, like look up what beetle larvae look like and then look at what the adult looks like. And any species of beetle is fine because the adults are wildly different than the juveniles. And one of my favorites is look up the diving beetle larvae because they look like tiny little dragons with crazy massive teeth, like big pincher teeth. And then the adults are just like cute little beetle. So I look them up because they're wild. If you want to see like a true transformation, insects won it. They win. Anyway. Lady's mantle is the flower or plant. Morning dew has always been revered as a magical substance. So when ancient alchemists saw how lady's mantle held morning dew on her petals and leaves, they named her Alchemilia. Sometimes we know the truth but are unable to fully grasp and integrate it. This is where lady's mantle shines. Call upon her when you need to help transmuting that which you know into something you can embody. And moldavite is the stone. There's a lot of mystery surrounding moldavite as we are not sure exactly how it comes to be beyond. There we go. The fact that it comes from space. The strongest theory is that it came from the impact of a giant meteor 14.7 million years ago. Because of this, moldavite brings about quick transformations and shifts. It's helpful when you know something needs to be shifted, but you're unsure of how. Moldavite brings the mysterious power of the ethers. Use moldavite as an ally when you're feeling stuck and need shifting. So a lot of this is changing the situation around you. And you can do that through a little reset of your own, a little hibernation, a little relaxation, a little just kind of withdraw, take a break, if you're feeling like there's a lot of negativity around you, just take a break so that you can identify what it is that needs processing and what needs changing. And don't be afraid to tell people, hey, I need a break this week. I just can't. I mean, you can't, a lot of people, me included, cannot just be like, hey, I'm not coming into work, I need a break. It'd be nice if the world worked that way, but you can take breaks in other ways. Like, maybe you've got someone who's constantly texting you that needs, like, your constant attention, and you can just be like, hey, I'm really sorry, but I need a break this week from people in general, and I just need to reset, or I need just a couple of days, and I'll still be here if you really, really need me, but I just need a couple of days. Or maybe if you've got a family, maybe you can take an hour in the evening where you can be like, hey, if you've got a partner, hey, can you watch my kids, watch our kids for like a little bit, I need a break. Or maybe if you have a family member who can help you do that, and just like take some time, even if it's maybe an extra 5 minutes in the shower, take some time to yourself and just stand there for 5 minutes. Showers are great places for withdrawing and resetting because they kind of block out all the stuff going on around you. So if you can even take an extra 5 minutes in the shower, just take that time and just be like, okay, let's reset, let's change perspective, let's change outlook on today, and just try to be kind to yourself. Okay, so that's these guys. Let's take a peek at those two cards that popped out. Fate and the Observer. So, Fate is the Ether. It's card 96. It's a reminder that you create your fate. So this kind of seems to be overall in the theme of the rest of these cards, actually. Setting boundaries, looking within yourself, creating a space for yourself where you can withdraw and change your outlook, change the situation around you. So you create it all. All of these are things that you would create. While some lessons and experience are inescapable, we have free will and a choice within the life we are given. This deck was inspired by the Norns, three mythical figures that rule the destiny of humans within Norse mythology. The name Norn derives from a word meaning to twine, referring to how they weave the threads of fate. The Norns are very much like the Fates in Greek mythology, if you're familiar. Fate is seen as a malleable thing with some fixed aspects. This partner's card is the Weaver. The Weaver asks you to tend to threads. This card asks you to get clear on the fate you're weaving. So, which one of these is what you're working? What are you weaving right now? What are you working on? Have a clear image of which one of these you need to do. And the Observer, and this is kind of interesting because we're talking about threads here in this one, and observing and being clear, and now we're moving into the Observer, who has threads woven around their hands. So we're going from tip from the future here. My memory card got full up on while I was recording, so I just wanted to go ahead and read this Observer thing really quick from the book. And it says here, the Observer indicates a time when you're being encouraged to suspend judgment or conclusions and simply witness. We're always trying to sort our external world. We want to process it, make sense of it, and figure out our place within it. It is our way of trying to feel secure and comfortable within our environment. However, this can also reach extremes where we are automatically forming opinions without gathering enough information. The Observer asks you to pause and simply pay attention. This may feel passive, but in observing, we're already cultivating change. So what I got when I was looking at these cards together, I mentioned how the threads were connecting because the Fate card was talking about the Norns and the threads of fate, and then the imagery of the threads in the Observer. So I was talking about making your own choices with intention, but then observing where the threads lie and following them. And especially drawn to this, observing without forming conclusions kind of goes back to the whole thing about in the first stack where there was the rat and the cannabis leaf and things that are often judged as different than they really are. Rats are give a really negative stigma where they're actually really intelligent, really social, and really kind creatures. And cannabis is really powerful medicine, but has a stigma in specifically US society that's kind of starting to finally change, but especially in like the images of the other cards, and not really being judgmental, but just being open to what's going on around us and taking in what we need to take and leaving the rest, but not judging too heavily ahead of time. So I hope that you all got something out of this reading and that you enjoyed it. And let me know if there's anything you would like to suggest for future readings. I'm kind of liking this choose your own adventure thing. The video is a little longer, but I think it was enjoyable and I got a little bit more out of it. So I hope you all have a great week, and thanks so much for watching.